Thank you, everyone, for coming out on this gorgeous night and the dedication for our building. The first thing that we're going to do is raise the flag, and the band will play the national anthem. And for those who are comfortable, please rise. Thank you. So in 2005, the spring of 2005, John Davis, our borough manager, had a meeting with council, and he informed us that PennDOT was getting close to really moving to Plumstead. And it was time for us to start thinking about planning what a park should look like and how we get those plans together. And in the meeting, what he told us is that we should come and look at the property. So the next morning, I drove down, I parked in the parking lot, the gate was open, and I started walking around the property, and I got all the way down to the salt dome and actually went inside of it. And at that point, I was accosted by a PennDOT worker, and I was not dragged off the property, but I was thrown out of the lot. And I called John, and I said, they just threw me off of the property. And he said, well, I told you to go and look at it. I didn't tell you to go in there. I don't think that any of us have ever been on that property. And that was my introduction to starting the real work on the Broad Street project that has brought us here today to Broad Commons and our new Borough Hall. There is so much history on how this project began, and there are faces in the crowd who are part of that process. Way back when, the park area was a brickyard along Broad and Atkinson in the 19th century. The Clear Springs Hotel was on the site until the 1920s, and I am told the namesake spring runs through the storm sewers under our parking lot. PennDOT built their building in 1932 and had made some additions along the way. In the late 1990s, Senator Joe Conti started the conversation about the boroughs acquiring the property when PennDOT started discussing their move. But the borough was not interested in the building at that time, although we were very interested in a park, and that is when Heritage Conservancy became involved. Time progressed to 2012, when the prospect of the formation of the Central Bucks Regional Police began to change our thinking. John Davis, our borough manager, gave Phil Ellinger, our deputy borough manager, the task of performing a comprehensive site assessment study. And as a result, John lays the responsibility for the vision of the adaptive reuse of the historic WPA building and the conversion of a brownfield into a park squarely at Phil's feet. His vision is why we are here today, a park and a building that houses Borough Hall and the Central Bucks Regional Police Headquarters. Copious planning ensued, co-planning with New Britain and Chalfont, agreements with the Heritage Conservancy, pulling work in-house to save a rounded $2 million, selling property, working with legislators to garner grants, and last but not least, we started construction on this project at the outside of the COVID pandemic, and we moved into it at the height of the COVID second wave. The contrast between our old Borough Hall and our new one is a sea change. It is a healthy environment with sunlight, ventilation, storage, community space, a mayor's office. Our technology has entered the 21st century. All spaces are equipped for remote meeting participation. Our comprehensive plan community meetings will be held in council chambers, and we are just beginning to experience the benefit our new offices will have for the community. Our regional police have emerged from a basement into offices that were necessary to be accredited. And that accreditation has enabled the department to obtain grants to fund our Victims Assistance Unit, which has won in its first year a national award. And it has been the catalyst for the Department of Justice to recognize our regional police department as the Northeastern Regional Training Center for Police De-Escalation. And that project is planned to launch in conjunction with Yale University in 2023. And then there is our park, a community space of 3 acres. The land has been reclaimed. We've just planted over 60 trees. A play area and rain gardens are in the works. All our plantings are native. Thank you, Wendy Margolis. I married a couple in this plaza just this afternoon. Broad Commons will grow and evolve over time as the community starts to use it. This dedication is our opportunity to say thank you to everyone who has been part of this Broad Street project, and Jack will do that soon. But I would like to say a few thank yous. Thank you, Phil Ellinger, for your vision. And I would like to thank everyone who contributed to this vision, everyone who has gone the extra mile to make it happen, everyone who has made a donation, everyone who bought property, everyone who helped us get funding, and everyone who supported it and has waited patiently and sometimes impatiently. We have a park and a building that will serve our borough for generations to come. So now I'm going to stop talking. There are two people here who have taken time from their very busy schedules to come and speak to us tonight. Senator Steve Santasero and Commissioner Bob Harvey are no strangers to our community. Steve helped us get the RACB grant, we call it, to help fund this project. Bob works in Doylestown every day, and I see both of them at many of our community events. But first, Representative Fitzpatrick could not be here tonight, but Macklin Wagner from Congressman Fitzpatrick's office is going to start by presenting us with a citation and a flag.
Thank you, Mayor West. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Macklin Wagner from Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick's office. It's my pleasure to be here this evening, and unfortunately, Congressman Fitzpatrick couldn't be here. But I do have a citation acknowledging this great event and this momentous occasion for this new park and Borough Hall. And the citation reads, "Presented to Doylestown Borough in recognition of your new Borough Hall and Broad Commons Park, and for your committed work to the community of Doylestown Borough." And this flag was flown over the United States Capitol for the occasion. Mayor West.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, that was an honor. Without further ado, Steve.
Thank you, Mayor West, and everyone gathered here this evening. You're looking at me. I just want to let you know the other guy got it worse than I did. In all seriousness, May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, and thank God in my case it's something that was completely treatable, but it's a reminder for all of us, especially those of us who are not always good about using sunscreen. Make sure you do that, but enough of the infomercial. I want to thank the council and obviously Mayor. You get your own new suite of offices. I saw Ron Strauss. Where's Ron? Ron, you left too early, Ron. Well, congratulations, Mayor. I see also we have representing the surrounding township, Barb Lyons, the chair of the Board of Supervisors, and also Stephanie Mason, the township manager. So thank you both for being here as well. This really is a wonderful project and a really important thing for the community. We were obviously on the state level happy to help out with a capital grant, as Mayor West just noted. But, you know, it really took the vision of local leaders to see this as a possibility, both for the borough and also for the regional police force, and then to take this beautiful space and turn it into truly a beautiful park space for Doylestown Borough. And you know, all of our boroughs, because of their dense population, need more green space. So the fact that you've been able to provide that at the same time of providing a great new facility for, you know, the police and also for local government to function is so incredibly important. I can tell you as a former township supervisor, Our digs in Lower Makefield were nowhere near as nice as this. You complain about the old place. I'll invite you into the Lower Makefield Township building at some point. This is by far one of the nicest meeting rooms I've seen of any local government. And that's great for council, it's great for the mayor, but mostly it's great for all of you in the community. Because now you have a place not only where you can go and be heard on issues that you care about, because after all, local government is the government that's closest to the people, where you can get the most immediate response to your concerns and the issues that face you, but you also have a great space where you can have public meetings of other kind. And that's a wonderful thing for the community as well. And to have that married with this beautiful outdoor space is just a wonderful thing. So I want to thank the borough, John, obviously, but all of you for your vision to be able to put something like this together, and for you taking the risk of coming here that day and getting chased by PennDOT. I'll make sure that doesn't happen in the future. We'll handle that. But really, this is a wonderful day for the community to celebrate, and I'm so happy to be part of that celebration today. I'm honored to have been asked to be here and to speak, and I congratulate all of you on this and wish you many, many years of good use of this facility and of this space where we all come together as a community. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Commissioner Harvey?
Thank you, Mayor West. On behalf of Commissioner Marseglia, Commissioner DiGirolamo, and the entire county, we really just want to congratulate Mayor West, the council, all the former council members, Mayor Strauss, everybody who had a hand in doing this work. You know, I was gonna say former managers, but I think John's been here for as long as this plan's been here. So I don't know what he's gonna do with himself now that it's done. So, you know, but I can tell you, having been a township supervisor in Falls Township for 16 years, how difficult it is to do what you've done. I know because we worked for several years in that township to build a new township building that would have all our services there, you know, improving the building from what it was, hiring architects, hiring engineers, down to the point where we're picking out, you know, paint and carpet styles, and then still not getting it done. Because, you know, the will just wasn't there, the cost scared some of the elected officials, and so it's one of the things that I'm envious of what you've done here. Taking a beautiful building, you know, it looks great for 90 years old. I hope I look this good when I'm 90 years old. And taking this property and making it into this beautiful park, which is already being used, as you said, by couples who are getting married. So really just nothing more to say than congratulations on what a great job you've done here. And best of luck for everything in the future.
And now our President, Jack O'Brien, is going to speak.
We are going to have a short musical interlude here before I start, and I just want to thank the Central Bucks Jazz Band for being here tonight and their contributions to this effort. And thanks once again to the Central Bucks West Jazz Band. Our new Borough Hall and Broad Commons Park are testimony to environmental sustainability. Through adaptive reuse, we successfully converted an existing industrial building to a modern, functional office space for both the Doylestown Borough Hall and the CPRPD, the Central Bucks Regional Police Department headquarters. Additionally, we converted a brownfield behind us here into a beautiful 3-acre park. And we're not done with it yet. There's a couple more phases to come. If you look off to your left, you'll see some renditions of what the playground and some of the areas will look like after we're done here. You can have an opportunity to walk over that way. Hold on a second. The National Trust for Historic Preservation published a report on the environmental benefits of adaptive reuse. The greenest building, qualifying the environmental value of building reuse, demonstrated through case studies that reusing buildings can save up to 46% over new construction. And of course, none of this comes without an associated cost. We're fortunate to receive an RACP grant from the state to help defray some of the cost of this project. And we are very thankful for the help of Senator Steve Sanacero, former Representative Wendy Ullman, and Representative Shelby Labs in supporting that application. We also received an open space grant from Bucks County, which helped with the cost of converting the brownfield to the park we see here today. For this, we are grateful to our county commissioners, Mr. Barb Harvey, Ms. Diane Ellis Marsaglia, and Jean DiGirolamo. To paraphrase an old expression, failure is an orphan, and success has many parents. In that regard, I would like to recognize some of the people who were stewards of this project, which had its origins in the mid-1990s. First, the current members of the Borough Council. I'm not going to name them all. You probably know who they all are. Our former council members, former mayors here today, Ron Strauss, Libby White, and all past council members who had a part in initiating or continuing the process, however slow, of this project. The borough staff played a key role in bringing this project to fruition, and I would like to call special attention to Mr. Phil Ellinger in the Public Works Department, who were able to perform a significant amount of work for the park in-house, thereby providing a considerable savings to the borough. The planning for this effort involved the contributions from many of the borough boards and commissions, and I want to thank them and make sure that they are recognized for their efforts. As part of the planning for the relocation of the PennDOT facility, the property was conveyed to the Bucks County Heritage Conservancy. In order to make this project realizable, I want to thank Mr. Bill Kunz of Heritage Conservancy President, Mr. Stephen Phillips, the Heritage Conservancy Chair, and Mr. Chris Chandor, Heritage Conservancy Board Member, for the transfer of this property to Doylestown Borough under a 99-year lease agreement. So far, I've spoken quite a bit about the planning of this project. Now I want to say a little bit about the actual implementation of the project in terms of the details of the design and construction. I want to recognize our construction management firm, Adams Bickle Associates, and their personnel, Mr. Gus Perea, CEO Emeritus, and Mr. John Danowski, who was the on-site representative for them. The architects for this project, Phillips and Donovan, and their personnel, Mr. Joe Phillips, a principal, and Jim Linsky, the project manager. Later, as you tour the facility, you will have the opportunity to see and enjoy the work of Mary Senior of Interior Space and Design, who was instrumental in selecting furnishings and the layout of the interior spaces. Of course, nothing would have been completed without the work of our general contractor, P.J. Dick. I want to thank the efforts of Mr. Gary Heinrichs, the regional manager, and Mr. Ben Kotler, the project manager. Another group that deserves mention and thanks are the group of donors to the park amenities who made contributions for the sponsorship of benches and park entrances. There is a placard listing each of those contributors in the park along, and it's over here just to the outside of the plaza here. Identifying the sponsors and what they sponsored. And by the way, there are still opportunities to donate. Last but certainly not least, I want to thank the residents of Belvedere for waiting so patiently for the arrival of the park that has been discussed for so long. And thank you. And with that, I think we are into a Okay, I would ask everybody to join me in a countdown as we prepare to activate the fountain here. We're going to count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And as we go into our next musical interlude, I would ask you to turn your attention to the Borough Hall, and for council members to slowly proceed over there. We're going to have the ribbon cutting and followed by a tour of the new Borough Hall. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Okay, y'all ready to take it? I think so. Yay!